Hello friends, welcome back to Aaron's Anxiety. I am your host, Aaron, your personal guide through anxiety. So today, the topic for discussion: mental health awareness. I'm going to start doing this to everything I say. I'm not going to do that. That would take too much time and my arms would get tired. Sorry, I'm in kind of a goofy mood today. So I wanted to talk today about mental health bullying and how to know if you're being bullied or if you're being a bully, because we don't want to do this. Sometimes we inadvertently do things and we don't want to. Okay, so growing up, I was a 90s baby. I was born in 1990 on the nose. Well, not on the nose, August of 1990. So that being said, I was a 90s child, and that being said, there was a lot of things that we said at the time, or the thoughts that we had growing up, that later on, you see, they're not that big of a deal. So, and what I mean by that, and I'm not, getting into the whole thing about, political correctness and things like that, because I am a very jokey kind of guy. I appreciate a good joke. And I love listening to comedians and things like that, and so I'm not really about all that. I just give people the respect that they deserve. I just respect people just in and of themselves. You'll get my respect at first, and you have to kind of unearn my respect. So people say, well, you get respect when you earn it. Well, that's fine, but I don't know everybody in the world. So if I'm just meeting you, I'm going to give you a certain amount of respect for just being a person, no matter what that is. You have to show me that you don't earn that respect. And, most people do just fine. But that being said, I am a firm believer in that jokes are jokes. You know what I mean? Whether people like them or not, no matter what the joke's about, it's just a joke. You know what I mean? I've watched so many roasts from past and stuff, and people just go on and on, and it was a constant. Everybody's in this mixed pot of jokes, and then all of a sudden somebody gets offended, or this person gets offended, and then that's not acceptable. And once you start taking things away, nothing is acceptable anymore, and then you kind of lose an art form like comedy. I'm not saying you have to be offensive to be a comedian. Look at Bill Cosby. Wasn't offensive till way later. But that being said, growing up in different times, I'm now old enough to know that there are things you can and can't do. So when I was little, I'm going to bring this all around, don't worry, it's coming. When I was little, there's a place here that was called the Madison Center. And so what the Madison Center was a place where if you were having mental problems, and that could be anything from psychosis to bipolar to whatever, anxiety, any of that stuff. If you had these problems, you could go to this place. It was a mental health facility. But I remember as a kid, it was like a thing, that came up in jokes that was saying, yeah, you're crazy. You belong in Madison Center. And I remember adults saying these jokes, like teachers and stuff like that, saying that. I'm like, wow, you better be careful. We'll send you to Madison Center. You know what I mean? And so it got to this vibe, like Madison Center was this scary, horrible place to be. And you do not want to go to Madison Center because you'll be crazy. And the rest of your life, everybody's going to think you're crazy because you went to Madison Center. And things kind of stick with you through time. And that being said, the Madison Center in my head, it's called something else now. I don't really remember what it's called now, but it's called something else. But it's the same place that does the same kind of thing. It's still a mental health facility. It's probably just sponsored by somebody else or was rebuilt by somebody else, whatever. That being said, when I was going through my anxiety, and I was in the thicket, and I was in the heavy heated part of it, there was a time when I went to the doctor, and I was thinking that I might, because crazy thoughts pop in and out of your head, okay? It happens. And so I was doing my best to tell my doctor, or worry myself into thinking that I had something or didn't have something. And I thought that maybe I got schizophrenia. Maybe I'm schizophrenic. Maybe this is what it's like to have schizophrenia. And looking back at a neutral mind now, I didn't, and it was pretty obvious that it was anxiety. But when you're in the thicket, you can't tell. So I was so scared. I mean, I was already anxious and nervous and scared anyway. And then it made me even more anxious, nervous, and scared that I thought he was going to send me to the Madison Center, right? And I remember telling my doctor, who's a really cool guy, really awesome doctor, I was like, you're not going to send me to Madison Center or anything like that, are you? You know, kind of like half jokingly. And he was like, no. He goes, do you have a reason to go there? I was like, no, that's, you know, in my brain, I'm 29 years old. I was like, well, it's, you know, it's in the kooky people. He goes, oh. He goes, well, Madison Center, he goes, I've been there. He goes, all it is like a health facility. There's nothing weird about it. I mean, the people are there, they just need help. But see, that was my upbringing. Everybody throwing Madison Center around like it was this big joke because people have health problems, mental health problems. That I was etched like that. And when he said that, I mean, I kind of felt disappointed in myself. And I was like, oh man, I kind of label, you know, people that are kind of going through a hard thing or a hard time like it was a bad thing to go get help. You know what I mean? Even when you're half joking about it, you don't want to, like, somebody's trying to do, like, it's the same thing, like, I think that, sorry, I'm trying to put this into words that would do it justice. I think that mental health needs to be viewed the same as regular health questions. Like, oh, my side is hurting. Am I having an appendicitis attack? You know what I mean? Something like that. You wouldn't go, oh, well, you know, like the people that go in to have an appendix removed, those people, you know what I mean? That's just weird. But yet we do it with people that are having mental issues, and it's a joke. It's not a joke. People are going through hard times, and they're trying to get themselves help. And so maybe at that time, what if my doctor would have said, hey, yeah, I think I do want to send you over to this new place, the Madison Center place, because I think they could be beneficial to you. It made this big snowball in my head like it was going to be this horrible thing. No, people are just going there to get better, like any other hospital, and then they're going out and they're getting back to life. Like, that's just a thing you do. It's like a top-up for your brain, almost. And so, like I said, I was just really disappointed in myself. Because I was kind of, you know, and I'm not a very, like, I'm not a censored person, but at the same time, I'm not going to down anybody, you know, or make fun of somebody who's trying to better themselves, if that makes sense. So, I do think language is important. You know, there was a thing I saw, and it said, if every word you said was written on you, would you be ugly or would you be beautiful? And I remember thinking, wow, that's actually, like, I like that. I like that a lot. And I'd like to think that I was beautiful, but I do drop the F-bomb a lot, so I don't know, maybe not. But, so kind of watch, you know, how we're treating people, and also pay attention to how people are treating you. You can be, you know, my dad is a wonderful person, very kind, giving man, but inadvertently, you know, he grew up in the 60s, 70s, 80s when mental health was, I mean, a shadow of what it is now, you know, as far as how we deal with it and things like that. And so for him, it's just like, you know what, stop thinking about it, get over it, man up, you know, you'll be all right, just do the best you can to man up, get it done with. That's just as bad as making fun of the other people, because now you're belittling what's happening, and you're not, you know what I mean, saying, hey, yeah, oh, what, you're having a heart attack? Man up, you know what I mean? Smack yourself in the chest, get that heart beating right. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. We just don't normally view it like that. So just be cautious of how people are treating you, and don't, you know, tell people like, look, hey, I might be in this struggle temporarily, but this isn't forever. This is just my current state. But if I want to give myself help, what's wrong with that? I shouldn't be made fun of for that. And there is nothing wrong with going to these mental health facilities. I've been to these places before, and if you're worried about these places, go check one out. They're not bad. They're, like, in my head, I guess I always had it viewed as like this horrible place where it's like there's crazy people around that are like murderers, and it's scary, and people are screaming all the time. And No, it was just like a regular place. There was just, like a hospital, just people just hanging out, waiting to get better, you know what I mean, or working on a new dosage, or doing whatever therapy, you know what I mean. It's like it was kind of a groovy place, to be honest with you. So if you're worried about those places, I don't know why you would, because I don't know if you've had the same experience I had. Go check them out. They're cool. They're fine. You know what I mean? Think of it like, if you had to go there, it's almost be like camp. You're gonna make some new friends here, because there's gonna be people there going through the same exact thing you're going through. And then you also have a staff around you who is looking out for your best interest. It's their job to look out for your best interest. How wonderful is that? So, all right, friends. Well, I'm not going to carry on too far, but I do think that there is a bullying-ish situation when it comes to mental health. And I think I'm not sure. I'm not a woman. I have a lot of strong women in my life, but I do think that there is something to it as far as being a man. As a guy, we always get the, we'll man up, you know what I mean? We're going to be a big sissy about it, kind of things like that. Big guys don't cry. I'll cry if I need to. I'll cry. I don't usually cry, but I mean, I'm not saying I'm afraid to cry. I will. I mean, put a sad movie. I mean, you guys remember the movie Homeward Bound? That didn't make you tear up. I don't know what will, because that was sad. It was crazy sad. Lassie died. Didn't do nothing. Homeward Bound, though, got me right in the feels. Ooh, the end of Coco. If you guys watch Pixar's Coco, ooh, the end of that when he's singing to his grandma. I love this movie. It's so beautiful. That was me. And then my wife was like, yeah, pull together. So, but anyways, all right, friends. Well, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Be conscious of your words and how you're saying them, and try to be conscious of other people's words. Don't take offense to them, because a lot of people are just trying to help. But take a mental note of it. If you don't like something, I mean, if someone's being a blank a-hole, then you can address them if you feel like it. But most of the time, they'll just say, hey, that's not something I would say, and I would try to refrain from doing that, because if it hurt my feelings, it's probably going to hurt somebody else's feelings. So just be conscious, basically. Be aware of what's going on around you. All right, friends. Until next time, I'm Aaron. You're awesome. And I will see you in the next video.